The Commission on Presidential Debates announced its selection for this year's Absolutely Fair Debate moderators. The announcement came on the Friday before the Labor Day weekend in the hopes no one would be around to hear how absolutely fair the moderators are. They'd be too busy not hearing the FBI dump on how absolutely honest Hillary Clinton is. In a statement to the media, Debate Commission President Huma Abedin said, quote, "We sincerely hope our blatant display of bias will communicate our contempt for the American people and their election process. As Democrats, we trust we have injected enough self-hatred into the minds of the voters that they will willingly choose to elect those of us who despise them." Unquote. The list of moderators elevates some of the finest journalists in the country by giving them the evening off and instead appoints people certain to ask searing questions of any candidate who hates women so much he would try to stop the rise of the first female president, a great lady who must be treated gently because she just isn't feeling very well. The absolutely fair moderators include Michael Sanford. We know this charming 20-year-old British man will be fair because he actually attended a Trump rally at the Treasure Island Casino in Las Vegas. And all right, yes, he attempted to steal a policeman's gun and assassinate Trump while he was there, but he now promises to ask both candidates equally probing questions, which he hopes will allow him to get close enough to Trump to get off a clean shot this time. Another absolutely fair moderator will be Vicente Fox. Senior Fox said he would graciously take time off from being president of Mexico to teach that gringo SOB with the naranja comb-over not to go around calling Mexicans criminals. To prove they are not criminals, Senior Fox said he would bring a couple of Mexican policemen on stage to drag the candidate into a van, tie him to a chair, and torture a confession out of him the way they do with everyone who dares to stand up against the cartels. Senior Fox insisted the Mexican policemen would be completely fair in the questions they asked Mr. Trump while shocking him with a cattle prod. When someone explained to Fox that in fact he was no longer the president of Mexico, Fox wandered around in a daze, wondering why he was still carrying a saber and wearing his admiral's hat. The final absolutely fair moderator of the debates will be a wax dummy of Franklin Roosevelt, who through the miracle of animatronics will deliver pre-recorded questions that are absolutely fair to both candidates, even though his recorded voice sounds strangely like Hillary Clinton's. Among the questions that will be delivered to the Democrat candidate will be, "Can I have your cookie recipe?" and "How much does it mean to you to be a grandmother?" Among the questions delivered to the Republican candidate will be, "Why can't you just die?" and "Why are you still here? Didn't I tell you to die?" The first absolutely fair debate is scheduled to be held September 26th between Donald Trump on the one side and Hillary Clinton and CNN's Candy Crowley on the other. Trigger warning, I'm Andrew Klavan, and this is The Andrew Klavan Show. It sounds about right, exactly. It's not even, I sometimes wonder whether I'm actually writing satire or living in a satire, dreaming that I'm writing satire. I'm not sure which it is. All right, it's Mailbag Day, woohoo, yay, yay. And this is a good time to remember that you have to subscribe to the Daily Wire. You get 30 days absolutely free, and then we absolutely steal $8 from you every month to keep you here. But you get to be part of the show. You not only get to watch the entire show, because now, see, you only get 15 minutes live on Facebook and YouTube, and then you have to come to the Daily Wire where you can hear us like a voice in the night, but you can't see us unless you subscribe. Is that right? And you can also download us at iTunes or at SoundCloud and listen. Also, while I'm selling you stuff, take a minute to pre-order The Great Good Thing, my memoir about a secular Jew who comes to faith in Christ, namely me. You can get it now and send your receipt to A. Klavan. Is it A. Klavan at dailywire.com? And I'll send you a signed sticker you can put in the book. All right, let's take a look at what's happening in the polls. Remember, we had this CNN poll, and Hillary Clinton says she doesn't pay attention to polls, so you know it's bad, right? And NBC, what I love is NBC recalibrated the poll. The poll shows Trump up like 2% nationwide. So NBC recalibrated the poll to turn the turnout to 2012, which is never going to happen, right? And then Trump was behind. But that, is just insane. So I don't know why they just don't scribble on, these are the numbers we would like to see. All right, so there's a big new poll out. Fred Cole of the Daily Shot, which is the Ricochet newsletter, says 50 individual There's a Washington Post SurveyMonkey just released a massive poll of all 50 states. Hillary Clinton is ahead by 4 or more points in 20 states, adding up to 244 electoral votes of the 270 she needs. Trump is also ahead by 4 or more points in 20 states, but his only add up to 126 electoral votes. There are another 10 states with 168 electoral votes where the lead is smaller than 4 points. The poll shows Trump ahead in Iowa and Ohio, and the race is close in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin. It also showed Texas to be a dead heat, which is very, very hard to believe, but that's what it showed, and it was a wide sample. Doug Schoen, I guess that's how he pronounces his name, he was in the Wall Street Journal today saying he's the former pollster for Bill Clinton. And he says it is not impossible that even though Hillary has a lead and she has a lot of advantages in the Electoral College, it's not impossible for Trump to win now. He says he should concentrate on the Midwest and focus on the angry white voters who are all out of work and their jobs went to China. And you know Hillary Clinton. Hillary was on the plane where, remember, she said she's now going to talk more to reporters. She gets on the plane and she's talking to reporters and somebody asks her about the CNN poll.
What do you think about the CNN poll that shows up?
Okay, we'll come back. We'll come back, guys. We'll come back. I'm just saying good morning. Good morning.
Bye. Thank you very much. All right, so that's, to be fair, she later came on and said, I don't pay attention to polls, which always means a politician is worried because that's all they do. That is their job. Their job is defined as looking at the polls and trying to figure out who to game and who to talk to and all this stuff. All right. So now the charges are going back and forth. And first of all, there is the health thing. Her latest coughing fit really raised some concerns.
Wait here.
Your Grace.
It's nothing.
He's choking.
Help the poor boy. Idiots, help your king.
Wait!
Nothing to see here. She's absolutely fine. I love this. I love this idea going around where the reporters are debating whether or not it's a story that Hillary Clinton has coughed. She says she's taken more antihistamines. It's an allergy. You can hear I clear my throat a lot. I have allergies like that make it difficult for me to talk in certain seasons. Probably that's true, I guess. She lies about everything, so it's hard to believe her about anything. And this idea that the press is going to debate, what's a story? They covered McCain's health when he was running. Let me tell you some stuff that's not a story. It's not a story when a soldier dies in a war. An individual soldier dies in a war. That's not a news story. And yet, when George W. Bush was president, every single soldier who died in the Iraq War was on the front page of the New York Times. It was a big story. Suddenly, Obama came to office. More soldiers died on his watch in Afghanistan, and for no apparent reason, but suddenly they disappeared from the front page. So, it's a story when you say it's a story. That's basically it. It's not a story when a thug is killed by a cop while he's resisting arrest. That's not a story either. And, that's interesting. Here is a story that this did make the Times. The body of an activist from St. Louis who led protests against the fatal shooting of Michael Brown in Ferguson, Missouri, was found with a gunshot wound in the charred remains of a vehicle. So that's going to be interesting. This is Darren Seals was found in his burned car shot. I don't mean to laugh at the poor man being shot, but it's going to be an interesting story to find out what that happened. All right, so what's really going on now is they're throwing charges of corruption back and forth. Hillary is fighting back against the charge that she's the most corrupt, desiccated, twisted, empty, soulless, human being who has ever run for any office anywhere in a civilized country. She's charging back that Donald Trump has done some bad things too. Here is Hillary attacking Trump.
Has been bankrupted in his company 6 times. He's been sued about 4,000 times. He's been accused repeatedly of fraudulent behavior. His so-called Trump University is under investigation right now because of the way it has scammed so many students who thought they'd get a better opportunity in life. And we've recently learned that his Trump Foundation has been fined for illegal activity when it made a political contribution to the Attorney General of Florida at the time she was being asked by her constituents to investigate Trump University because of the effects that these people that she's responsible for had experienced. And of course, as we know, there was a phone conversation between them. They contradict each other. The American people deserve to know what was said because clearly the Attorney General did not proceed with the investigation.
So, of course, the New York Times, the guardian of our morals, which has been covering every twist and turn of Hillary Clinton's, corruption with her emails on page 30X of the late night edition, splatters the front page with this Pam Bondi thing. Trump is said to have donated $25,000 to a group supporting Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of Florida, who is now a Trump supporter, and she is said to have ditched her investigation of Trump University. Here's Pam Bondi responding to Neil Cavuto.
They're going after Donald Trump and specifically you over his failure to disclose a $25,000 contribution a few years back in 2013 to a political group that was connected to you, and whether to open a fraud investigation against Donald Trump, that this smells bad, according to one Clinton official. What do you say?
Smells bad. Well, let me tell you, I will not be collateral damage in a presidential campaign, nor will I be a woman bullied by Hillary Clinton. This is about her trying to deflect everything she did as Secretary of State. And as you saw, we've sent a retraction notice to newspapers who have printed anything about this that's absolutely untrue. And Hillary Clinton will not bully me.
So I love it. The woman card played back, right? Hillary Clinton plays the woman card. I play your women card and I double my women card. You will not bully me. The problem with all this is, first of all, Trump was not a public official. So that immediately lowers the bar. Is the guy corrupt? Well, listen to him. Trump told Bret Baier during the debates, this is what he does.
I will tell you that our system is broken. I give to many people. Before 2 months ago, I was a businessman. I give to everybody. When they call, I give. And you know what? When I need something from them, 2 years later, 3 years later, I call them. They are there for me.
So
and that's a broken system.
So what'd you get from Hillary Clinton and Nancy Pelosi?
Well, I'll tell you what. With Hillary Clinton, I said, be at my wedding, and she came to my wedding. You know why? She had no choice because I gave. I gave to a foundation that, frankly, that foundation is supposed to do good. I didn't know her money would be used on private jets going all over the world. It was.
You gotta love him. That's how he got nominated in the first place. And it's true. The guy is a construction guy in New York. That means he dealt with the mob. There's no way to get a building built in New York without dealing with the mob. That's how it works. And so like all that stuff, his line is going to be, that's right. Politicians are corrupt. I know I've been buying them for years, but I will not be that guy. That's his line. We'll see if it works. But he definitely is protected by the fact that he was not a public official, which changes everything. It changes, for instance, his divorces. It's nobody's business how many divorces a private individual has. It's like if he's in the White House and getting it on with an intern in the Oval Office, then it becomes our business because we pay for the Oval Office. What he does in his office is not my business. Meanwhile, Julian Assange, the WikiLeaks guy, says more stuff is coming down the pike on Hillary. And he was on with Hannity, and he made this really devastating point. Remember, Hillary said that she didn't know. She told the FBI she didn't know what the C meant, that it meant classified, confidential on her emails. Yeah, she signed papers under oath saying she knew about this stuff, but apparently she didn't know. And Assange says he can't buy it.
Hillary Clinton says that she can't remember what a C in brackets stands for. Everyone in positions of government and in WikiLeaks knows it stands for classified confidential. And in fact, we have already released thousands of cables by Hillary Clinton. Here she is, Clinton. See, that's her signature, Clinton, with the C in bracket right there.
Wow.
Thousands of examples where she herself has used this C in brackets and signed it off, and more than 22,000 times that she has received cables from others with this C in brackets. So it's absolutely incredible for Clinton to lie. She is lying about not knowing what that is. But it's a bit disturbing that Coney goes along with that game.
All right, we got the mailbag coming up, so stay tuned. But if you're on Facebook or YouTube, you got to come over to the Daily Wire and hear the rest.